How goes it? Those in the future? Let me get a little set up here. I should like have the angle and everything set up ahead of time, but the like buttons and stuff for the functions on YouTube for like going live and stuff are always in the way. So I can't see the camera, like where it's pointing. Shoot. I can't get any closer. I want to give you like a zoomed in view, but it's way over on this side. Maybe I'll just I'm gonna mess with this, I think. Anyway, how goes it? This says day, what, 4 of the Holding Me Accountable stream series. And I'm going to be doing this for 2 weeks in case you're new or you haven't heard. I'm sure if you've been watching these, I don't know who's watching this shit, but if you've been watching these, then you may be sick of my spiel. But I'm going to be doing this for 2 weeks because I have a great big project that I need to get done in a month, and I need to be held accountable. Basically, these streams, for me, they're to keep me from just playing my video games all night or from getting sidetracked and deciding to start other projects because, oh, I could just squeeze that in real quick. Like, no, I can't. But also, if in case anybody else wants a beading buddy, or they just want to relax to some music or just watch some beading, that's cool too. Whatever you want to do, here's a space for you, if you're looking for that kind of space. And it's going to be taking place for the next 2 weeks. Let me get into my stream. I'm just relooming my piece here, trying to get a good view of this flower. So I did this lining last night after last night's stream. These leaves were already there. I want to get you a good view of the beadwork. I think that'll be good. Okay. So tonight was good. Tonight was the craft night, but only me and besides the host, only me and one other person came along, but it was still really nice to catch up with the person who hosts and with that other person that comes along because they're both great people and hadn't gotten to chat with them in a while. But there was also another little event going on there where we were learning about maple syrup, maple sugar, maple, I don't know what to call it besides maple candy, but it's not really a candy. Like, yeah, it's like a hardened sugar like candy, but it's actually nutritious. And it's like a traditional food. It was one of those foods that were great for trade, for one, but also great for winter survival. So that was really cool to see how the folks at the culture department deal with the maple sap every year. Okay, I believe I've got 2 of these strung up. I feel like I'm a bit of a mess right now, but I just got home like 10 minutes ago from this thing. Tomorrow I will probably also do a late stream because we have our general tribal council meeting, and I always try to attend those. So I'm thinking probably the same time, about 9 p.m. And today is also going to be a short stream too. I'm only going to go until about 10. But today we got this flower with the red outline and some can't remember the shade of these. Were they amethyst? Oh, the one time she doesn't put a tag on them. I can't remember, but they're like a purple shade. Hi, how are you? I hope you had a good day. My day was pretty good. Ooh, my screen is way behind. Let me try and catch up. There we go. Like I can't see if I'm in frame without my laptop. I just realized it was way behind. Okay, looks like I'm in frame now. Oh, thank you, and I'm glad you had a good day. It's too bad I can't do this all the time. I could, but you would hear my rambunctious mini-me's in the background, and they are loud. Oh wow, I think this purple is gonna look so good with this red. Oh my goodness, I think I used this song for, oh, what are the aunties' names? And Smoke Signals. I can't remember. Lucy and who? Is it Valma or something? Anyway, I did a video, dressing up as them too for Halloween a few years back, and I believe this was the song I used for that. Oh, I'm getting tangled. I am a mess. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to relax because I'm still a little flustered from getting home. It's resulting in my strings getting tangled up. Extras on Reservation Dogs? That would be so awesome. That's a good show. And Pauline, the girl that plays Willie Jack, is just so cool. So is Willie Jack. Yeah, eh? Just in the background. See, my luck would have it, like if I were to somehow like make it into being an extra or whatever, the one time a shot of me would be in the show, I would be looking horrible or something, like taking a big bite of something or yawning or. Oh yeah. I identify with Willie Jack's style a lot, but I'm not like a hunting hard ass like Willie Jack. I wish I was. Yeah, I've been told that too, like that they thought Willie Jack reminded them of me, and I felt super honored. But also, I felt like they were a little wrong. I'm gonna fix this angle a little bit because I don't feel like it's an angle that I want. Okay, hopefully that's good. There's another cute show too called Rutherford Falls. That has, if you haven't seen it, that has, you know the lady, I don't remember her name, the lady that plays the IHS worker in Res Dogs. She's the one that is like kind of rude, and she's like, oh, you want me to buy meat pies from a sick girl? She is the main character of Rutherford Falls, and it's on Peacock. I suggest watching that show too. Personally, I don't think it's as good as Res Dogs, but it's still a cute show, I think. I like it. And Peacock, you do have to pay for it eventually, but they have like a free trial type deal. So you can get like all the episodes in and then cancel the trial. But in that case, like if you were to do that, then I would just suggest waiting until their second season comes out so that you can watch both seasons. And I believe the second one comes out like sometime this summer. Another show that I really miss is the Trickster show. And that one you had to, like the only platform it was on was CBC. So I had to connect my VPN, go to the CBC Gem website, and watch it on my phone. But it was still so good, and it's just sad. Like, for one, what happened that made it get canceled, but also just the sheer fact that it got canceled. As well as Chambers, which is on Netflix. That show is so good. They do hit different, and it's just like, I think it's partly because like we've got good material to work with, but also it's just like actually seeing yourself and not having to try to identify with other populations. So I think for a long time, like Native people tried identifying with other populations a lot because we just had like no choice. These are all pretty thick. I need a thinner one. There we go. Oh, the playlist is doing that thing where it plays an instrumental and words. I don't know if you could hear my cat just now. Hey! You guys! They're fighting. Yeah, hey, that's my cousin. That's what people be doing with me when they see like beaded eyebrow stuff or on the internet. Somebody was just telling me today, they were like, oh my god, I was scrolling on TikTok and somebody was talking about your beaded eyebrow. But they didn't know like that it was me, or the person talking about it didn't know, because I was a big failure and didn't watermark my stuff. Oh my god. I blame the pandemic for killing the beaded eyebrow right in its tracks. There were people that were like DMing me and telling me like I am for sure making some and wearing it to my powwow. And then the pandemic closed all the powwows. I just remembered I wanted to do a couple red lines on the inside. Just full of beaded eyebrows. Oh my god. That'd be so funny. I have tried to take my cat outside and he just gets so overly stimulated. I know that when cats have been inside for so long, like, you kind of want to slowly introduce them to outside. But like I put a harness on him because I don't want him to run away. That's how I got him. Was he ran away from his last home and was taken to the shelter, and nobody like claimed him or looked for him or anything, so I took him in. So I know that he's a flight risk, but I also don't want to like leave him out there and like have an outside and inside cat. I just want all inside. But yeah, I took him outside and he like started impulsively eating the grass. So much that like levels of grass that you would throw up pretty much immediately. And so I took him to the front yard, and this was like the third time I had taken him outside. I wouldn't have done that in the first time at all. And I had him like on his harness and his little leash, and then a car drove by and it freaked him out, and he like took off, and he of course was on a leash, so when the leash didn't give, he like goes flying in the air and goes like tumbling and almost falls out of the harness. I like lunged at him, like trying to keep him in the harness. I'm like, yeah, I think that was the last time I took him outside too. I was like, yeah, we shouldn't have come to the front yard. Oh, hey, Dre, how are you? I'll let Malachi know. I'll say hi to him. For you, I mean. I'll just say hi to him. Hi, Malachi. North Carolina, holy. Got Bay millionaires all over the place. Oh my goodness. Crybaby. I don't know why I just thought of this, but I have this friend who, when we were kids, they had a cat named Fat Ass, but because she was a kid and wasn't allowed to curse, she had to call the cat Fat Butt. Which is kind of rude, to be honest. Oh my goodness, I keep grabbing the other strings and tangling. A poopy cat, that was the name. Oh my goodness. I had a friend who literally named their cat Kitty Kitty. I was like, why? Like, you couldn't come up with anything better than Kitty Kitty? Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that I bring up Kitty Kitty because that's how Kitty Kitty was too. But I think that she was like traumatized by them into being borderline feral because like they were not good to that cat. And it was older by the time I was introduced to it. My friend was just a kid when they got the cat, and the parents had the cat on a leash in their freaking tiny little laundry room. So the cat like couldn't roam around the house and like just in that little room. And I don't know what else they did with that cat, but they just weren't very nice to it. And then once their parents broke up, the cat stayed with the dad, and the dad just allowed the cat to be like an indoor and outdoor cat, which wasn't an issue for them. But somewhere along the lines, she ended up just being nuts and like borderline feral, and a lot of people weren't able to touch her, but she allowed me to touch her. But I also call myself the cat whisperer because I can get any cat to like me, pretty much. Last fall, right before I got my kitten Spicy, actually, and that point is relevant, I promise. But last fall, I was driving into work, and I park in the parking lot, and I forget my keys, like my office keys, in my car. So what I had done was I went all the way in my office, inside the building, realized I forgot my keys, and was like pissed about that. And then I went out to my car to go get my office keys. And on my way out to my car, I just hear loud crying, like cat crying. Meow, 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 you know. And I could tell it was a kitten too. It was so loud in this open parking lot, like echoing loud. And I'm looking around, I'm like, what the hell? And then I see another one of my coworkers, they hear it too. And as I approach my car, I see another one of my coworkers frantically looking around her car. And she's like on the phone and stuff. And she's like, I go and ask her what's wrong. She's like, I think there's a cat in my hood. And we're like, oh no. So she opens up her hood and we're looking for the cat. And we ended up finding it. I believe I still have a picture of it deep in my phone somewhere. But yeah, there was this little tiny kitten. Had to have been like a month and a half old, or like 2 months old. Or no, I would say like 2 or 3 months old. Still just tiny. Its meows were very much mew, you know. And once she seen it, she was like, oh my god, that's one of the fucking neighbor's barn cats. So it was like pretty much a feral cat. Like barn cats are not, they're not like house cats most of the time. You know, you can't pet them, and these ones were very much so. In fact, she said that the week prior, her daughter, who is like 17 or some shit, her daughter tried to pet one of the kittens and got her hand tore up. So she was like, I am not grabbing that thing. I'm not touching it, because she's like traumatized from what happened to her daughter. So she digs me out some like leather gloves that she had in her car, and my other coworker gets a box out of her car, and then I just like wooed the cat out of its little hiding place. And yeah, I got the cat out of her hood and I put it in the box, and she brought it back to the little barn. But of course she was also like, basically like, I'm late for work, I don't want to drive all the way back to where my house is, like where this barn is, to bring this cat back. And she's like trying to convince me to adopt the cat, and I low-key was kind of thinking about it. But I was like, actually, I have an adoption already lined up for a cat. I already promised I would adopt one from another litter, so, which was true. It was little Miss Spicy who I ended up adopting like a few weeks after that. Just wild. And I can't believe I got that little barn cat to like me. And as I was holding it, waiting for my coworker to prepare the box for me to put it in, it was purring. I got it to purr too. It was still kind of trying to get away from me for a minute, and then I just started like petting it and talking to it, and then it started purring. And I was like, I'm good. Status cat lady achieved. Perfect. So it took me about a half hour to do this petal. I think I'll go ahead and do the other one, and then I can get 2 petals done tonight. I did complete another petal earlier tonight on the big orange flower. So there's only one more to go there. I think I'm also going to do some lives in the future, maybe in another couple of weeks or so, doing peyote stitch. Because while I was at this craft night, this maple syrup, maple sugar, maple candy, just maple. While I was at this event, my cousin was the one who was instructing it and saying how he makes like all his whole maple process. He asked if I would not do all the peyote on a project that he's working on, but he's like, I cannot start peyote. Can you start it for me? And I will finish it. And I was like, sure. So we talked about it some more. He gave me like his specifications, what he wanted, and I was like, do you mind if I stream it on my YouTube? And he's like, no, go ahead. Ah, yes. Cat cuddles are the best. When I got my first cat, Mr. Noodles, I had major cat fever at the time, and that's why I ended up getting him. I actually haven't owned a cat in my adult life until him. The only cats I ever had were my parents' cats, like when I was living with them and stuff. And at the time I had a partner that did not want a cat, but I was like, all right, it's time for you to just screw off because I want a cat. So I went and I picked him up, and one thing, there were many things that I was excited for in terms of having a cat, but one of the things that I was looking forward to was having kitty cuddles, like sleeping with the cat, cuddling with the cat. I love that. I've always done that with my parents' cats growing up. And then I get him and he's not a cuddly cat. He doesn't even sleep in my bed at night. He prefers to sleep alone. Spicy, on the other hand, she's very cuddly. She likes to curl up by my legs. Like, do it this way. Right. I mean, I did drop them though. Not because of that. There were other reasons, but. Now I'm a single cat lady. Oh, come on. Yeah, this stream is helping me very much because if I didn't set up a stream tonight, I probably would be playing video games right now. So this is really working for me. Aw, little brother. Yeah, I consider them like my children. And I have human children, but I also have cat children. And I tell my kids that the cats are their siblings. They do look at me crazy though, because they're like, what? They're not human. And I'm just like, so? They're still, you know, one of us. Yeah. So the animals that your sister cares for, they aren't like her kids, they're her siblings. Oh, okay, I gotcha. The dots have been connected in my small brain. Speaking of cats though, my kitten is making so much noise right now. And I'm not sure if it's loud enough for y'all to hear or not. But she is. She's like knocking things over, chasing things, running around. Yeah, I'm talking about you. 2 Chihuahuas, which are mom and daughter. And that the mom dog is the niece's age. 8 years. Your Chihuahua's still got a ways to go, too. Them dogs live forever. I had a Chihuahua when I was in my early 20s. But he didn't get to live very long. It was a tragic accident. He wandered off. I don't know if he wandered all the way to this other house on his own, or if like a little kid riding his bike by or something took him. Either way, he ended up at another house and he drowned in their swimming pool, sadly. My friend also has a Chihuahua though, and this is cute because her name is Tabitha, but she's also got bad bitch energy. Like she's tough, so he calls her Stabitha. Yes, exactly. And I find myself to be more of a cat person too. I really do like dogs, and I get along great with dogs, and they get along great with me. But as being the owner of an animal, I feel like I'm a better owner of cats. But I do still like dogs. I was just telling somebody this weekend, we were just bantering about animals, and she just so happened to used to have been a dog trainer for like over 20 years. She doesn't do it anymore because of just different reasons, like pandemic and her age and stuff. But I was telling her that one of the reasons that I had decided that I wasn't going to own any more dogs, I was only going to own cats from now on, was because I just don't, with my personality type and like schedule and stuff, I don't train dogs very well. I've had a few from puppydom and I just failed at training them. So I said, but if I were to end up going against my own word and getting a dog, I would get, like, I really like pugs. I've owned 3 pugs in my life. Or I also like bloodhounds. They're so freaking cute. And she started laughing because she said that those are apparently some of the most stubborn breeds out of all the breeds. So I was like, oh great, well, I guess I'm never owning them because I'm not going to be able to train that. Sweet pea and green bean. Oh my goodness, that is adorable. I love when like the names go together because my first cat is Noodles and then the second one is Spicy. And honestly, there is a deeper meaning behind why her name is Spicy. But spicy and noodles does just go together. They're spicy noodles. I love naming animals too. I had at my parents' house when I was a teenager, I had a cat named Blink. I had named him after Blink 182. My chihuahua that I had, his name was Theodore, but I actually didn't name him Theodore. I had acquired him. He was already named. There was a cat, another cat my parents had. He was all black except for a white patch on his front. And I don't remember what they named him. They refused to accept my name, but I still called him. This name, I called him Tuxedo Man. Because he looked like he was wearing a tuxedo. Courage, the cowardly dog, eh? Yeah, I had intended to name an animal Noodles for a few years before I got Noodles, but I had actually originally intended for that name to be used on a pug. If I were to get my hands on another pug, their name would be Noodles. But I got a cat instead. Oh, come on. understand how this petal ended up slightly smaller than the other one. It's interesting. But I'm gonna run with it. I am making an eagle staff for my tribe. We don't have an official eagle staff. We've just used the one that belongs to the community college, our community college, and then we have like our flag. Yeah, so an elder as well as like the head of the culture department, he decided we gotta make our tribe an eagle staff. So he asked me to bead it. Yep, I designed it. On the other side, there is a gigon, a ganoge. Gigon is fish, ganoge is pike. My tribe, our name for our land is Ganoje Conning, which is the place of the pike. And that was the chairman's idea, who she's also, not like a super close friend, but I'd say she's a friend of mine. And she also suggested lady slippers. So those are on the other side. But I drew the ganoge, I drew everything in it, I drew the lady slippers, did all the design myself. And then on this side is just really big florals, which I also drew and designed all myself too. And then the elder who asked me to bead this, he is currently making the pole for it. And then he's also designing, I don't know what to call it, that like hoop with 4 directions on it. The hoop that goes in like the loop of the pole, he's also doing that. It's basically just me and him. When he first asked me, he said that he wanted to just like get more community members involved in it. But I think maybe over time he just decided to like just keep it me and him. Because I didn't know at first like if anybody else was going to be doing anything with it. So I asked him the other day like am I sewing this together too, or do you have somebody else lined up for that? He was like, no, it's just me and you. So I was like, okay, no, that's cool. I'll do it. Oh, thank you. I try. It's also kind of hard not to be when you're everybody's cousin, so. Alright, there's 2 petals. So it's been about an hour. Ooh, yeah, I'm like, with just a few minutes to spare. But it's getting kind of late. I want to relax, maybe play a video game. But tomorrow I'll probably be on at the same time, at like 9 o'clock. There's a tribal meeting tomorrow, so I don't want to miss it. But I still want to hold true to my going live every day thing. But on Thursday and Friday, I'll be doing what I did yesterday, going live around like, I went at 7:30, but I think I might make it more like 7 tomorrow, on Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday, there's a drum social and a full moon ceremony in the evening. So I think I'm going to do the stream in the afternoon, like early afternoon, late morning, maybe even. So I might even just like set those lives up like now, so that everybody knows like what times I'm going to be on, just in case, you know, there's anybody out there that wants to make it to one of these and plan ahead for it. For whatever reason. I don't know why any of you want to hang out with me, but I'm here. And you guys are holding me accountable for finishing this thing. So, yes, if you're going to continue crafting after, don't forget to take a water break. And until tomorrow, Bama Peak Wabman.